Let's go with the funnies. Wheat Waffles rejected. 5 reasons men won't date these women. See what this says. This is reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4, reason 5. Let's go.
So, I am wondering.
What are you wondering?
So,
yeah.
I am wondering.
Yeah, what's up?
Why do men never ask a girl on a date anymore?
Because they can get pussy for free.
I find anytime I've ever talked to guys, it's always like, oh, like, let's watch a movie, which obviously
doesn't mean sex.
I know where that leads. But anyways.
Because why? Why spend money on you when you're cheap? When cheap hole?
Please clarify about why you guys do not ask girls on dates anymore.
Here's the question though. Why do girls want to go out on a date like dinner and stuff like that? So and again I get the man pays and all that stuff. You get a free dinner, right? But it's not like he's gonna get sex for it. Like, what does he get out of the dinner aside from the bill? Right? It's like, oh, he gets to know you better. It's like, okay, a walk in the park, he can get to know you probably even better than that. He can even see your fitness level if you can keep up, and you can whatever. It's like, see how you deal with the environment and all that shit. Right? And it's like, and straight up, if he just wants to bang, then yeah, like, why would, like, if he just wants to bang and doesn't want to get to know you, why would he take you out to dinner? Why would he wine and dine you instead of just like, hey, DTF? Because you girls, straight up, I'm gonna blame the girls for this, but obviously I blame the men even more because the men allowed the girls to do this. Not like in a macho thing. It's like because men had no standards and they were putting up all the girls on pedestals. That's why I'm blaming the men. But the girls that went up on these pedestals, which I can't really blame them for doing it, but it is what it is. You kind of ruined for yourself because now men are like, you know what? It's too much of a hassle, like to actually date a girl, and all these girls with the women empowerment and shit, like they're just down to fuck. So fuck it, yeah. Let's just do it, you know. It's like, what's enough with the games? Just let's get down and dirty, you know. Down dirty.
This might be the only time I'll ever say this at the start of a video.
She's right.
The point made by this woman in the clip is absolutely right.
She is right.
Men are choosing not to date women anymore.
Yeah.
Like she said, they'll say, hey, let's watch a movie. Come on over. My house is free.
Yeah.
Anyway, to avoid wasting any time, I'll get straight to the content. Here's 5 reasons why this is happening. Men are waking up and not taking women on proper dates anymore.
What for?
Number 1. Quite simply, the woman isn't relationship material. This is the thing about a lot of guys. A man might be happy to hook up, spend the night with a woman who's potentially 2-3 points lower than himself.
Unfortunately,
for 6 out of 10
this is like the only thing I don't have in common with a lot of guys. I'm like a 3, but I'll only date like a 7+. You know, I'll only go for a 7+. I really care about how they look.
Guys to spend nights with 4 out of 10 women. However, these men will almost never want to take these women on proper dates, show his friends, or pretty much ever be seen outside in public with her.
It's embarrassing.
In most cases, a guy will only do these.
I can't believe he calls this guy a 6 though. This guy looks like a 7 or an 8, to be honest.
If he believes
I don't know his body, but like.
His level. This is the first criteria for which a man will begin to take a woman seriously and give her the time of day.
He has to be a 4.
Why would a man spend time and money trying to jump through hoops when he knows he's more attractive? The second criteria that's also necessary and explains why a woman may not be relationship material even if she's attractive is because she doesn't meet certain characteristics guys see as necessary for relationships. Common bad characteristics include, but not limited to.
Okay, let's go. Man digger, has a history of being a whore. OnlyFans or like a sex worker, basically. Lives too much on social media. Has kids from a different guy, from previous guy. These are like. There are others like alcohol, smoker, all that stuff, doesn't take care of stuff, but it's like I'm saying these are probably like the big 5 as far as characteristics go. Let's see.
Having a promiscuous past.
Boom. whore.
cheated on
Previously cheated, whore.
any previous partners, vain
Social media.
accounts, having a history of drugs.
Okay, I didn't want to go there.
OnlyFans,
Yep.
and so on.
Social, yep.
The point
Bro, I got all of them, but I added some. Yeah.
is, a
So
lot
on,
of guys
kids,
will be
yeah.
more than happy to date these women casually,
Yeah.
inviting them over for short-term fun.
Yeah,
The
why
vast
not?
majority of them wouldn't dream of seeing them long-term,
Oh, hell no.
despite the fact they may be physically attractive enough. Now, before I move on to reason 2, I'm going to expand a little more on this point here, about promiscuous pasts. Because
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, both men and women in fact, who don't understand why it's obviously seen as a negative by most guys.
I love that like some women use this as like promiscuous past is a good thing because like I have experience and stuff, so sex is gonna be more fun. Yeah, but at the same time, okay, so like this is the way I see it. And this is not coming from like a very alpha or whatever way. I do not want to date a girl who was fucking everything that moves, that was hot, when I wasn't hot. Not that I'm hot now, but I'm just saying. You know, it's like, listen to this. If I'm like, let's say I'm a geek, right, in school, and which I wasn't. Oh, come on, like it's real. But let's say I was, right? Let's say I was a geek in school, and I was in love with a certain girl, but she wouldn't give me time of day because I got a sneeze. Good times. Okay, she wouldn't give me the time of day, and she would only date like the bad guys who were usually bullies or just like assholes and stuff like that. People who I didn't like. Now let's say I'm in my late 20s, mid 30s, and I'm successful. I start taking care of myself. I went to the gym, whatever, and like genetic, like my childhood doesn't play as much of an effect on me, like genetically, as it was now. I'm like more nurtured. Let's just say it like that, right? Nature is not as big of a deal. I'm, let's say, successful. I have my own business, or like at least I'm making a very good living. And I went to the gym, I took care of myself, I still have my hairline, all that stuff. And now suddenly this girl that I know has been doing fuck all during her 20s, like let's say we're the same age now, right? So during her 20s she was just banging everyone, whatever, and she comes with all this baggage and all that stuff, like her pussy's a fucking, like has elephant ears and all that shit. Would I wanna date a girl like that? Fuck no. Why would I? Like I can probably get a much better girl who's 20 with no past, right? But it's like, and also like, it's more like, oh, now you want to be with me now that I'm okay and you are like, damaged goods. Now you want to be with me. It's like, I don't even want to be seen with a girl like that, right? If you want to view it in other terms, think about it this way. When you put a woman on a pedestal, she's like a trophy. Would you consider someone who everyone had a trophy, or would you consider that as a consolation prize? I don't even consider that as a consolation prize. That's how bad it is. Okay, so I don't want anyone with like such a fucked up past of promiscuity for sure, right? Same with like the OnlyFans stuff and all that stuff. The other thing is, it's like, no, that's pretty much it. Like it's your damaged goods, And it's like, yeah, you can like I don't want to go into the other stuff where it's like you might have like all the there's other good point, which comes more for like a psychology kind of thing, which is like a woman that's been around has too much stuff that she can compare to, which can be good, but can also be very bad. It's like, oh well, this guy treated me this way in this situation, and this guy did this for me. It's like on my birthday that guy was giving me that, and it's like you start going into these like stuff, and it's like, bro, let's say like this, okay? I started dating this girl, everything was good, I was in a good financial position, all that stuff, and we were happy and all that stuff, but she came with a massive fucking baggage, right? A massive promiscuous past, right? And let's say we like, COVID happens, whatever, you lose your job, and it's like you're kind of like you're trying to work, whatever, but like the bills are piling up, and it's like it doesn't look too hot, you don't have a lot of money to spare, and her birthday comes up, and you're like, listen babe, I can't afford a birthday right now, a birthday gift, or like a party, or send you somewhere, like I can't, we gotta work through it, right? And she's like, oh, I remember this one guy. He never had problems with his money. He always took care of me. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, he was also beating the fuck out of you, but you remember only the good stuff, right? So it's like a girl like that's like, do I really want to be compared to somebody who used to beat her? You know, and again, these are like wild fucking examples. Like Phil would be like, where are you taking these examples from? They exist. Like I'm slightly exaggerating here and there, but yeah, to make a point. But they exist, right? It's not like out of the realm of possibility. A hot girl, if you're dating a hot girl, she probably been with rich dudes who might have treated her like shit, but at least they took care of her financially. Right? That's not out of the realm of possibilities. And then she dates a normal dude who makes decent money, and yeah. And then like the normal dude like hits a financial setback, right? It's like it's life, it happens. And suddenly she remembers the ex that was rich, you know, but beating her
I've sometimes heard.
or whatever, treating her like shit.
Yeah, I've slept around, but I'm ready to settle down now, and my
Oh,
purpose
good
is
for
to
you.
change who I am as a person.
Oh, fuck
No,
off.
All of this is wrong. You can't just jump on the carousel when you please and think men are just going to accept you for it.
Yep.
It doesn't work like that. Here's an example.
Yep.
Let's say you know a guy who's known to have stolen money from people in the past. If this is the case, you're hardly going to trust him with your wallet the
Yep.
first day he says he's never going to steal again. Similarly, if a woman claims she's ready to settle down, how will a guy know this is true and she won't go back to her previous ways? It makes no sense for him to
Yep.
give her his commitment.
It's not a good
and in fact,
investment.
it's a much safer option for him to keep things casual.
Yep.
This is the first reason why men don't ask women on proper dates anymore. Now moving on to
Yep.
reason 2.
I agree.
And this applies mainly to women approaching or already above 30. And that is the majority of high quality men who desire relationships are already taken. This
Nope.
one's easy to explain, and I'll do it using
I don't
this
agree.
chart I've used in 2 previous videos.
Good provider and good genetics is high quality man. Bad provider, good genetics, fuckboy. Good provider, bad genetics, beta provider. Bad genetics and bad provider, low quality man. Okay, interesting.
Picture. When a woman is in her low 20s, she's going to be in a position of abundance of all 4 of these types of men.
Yep.
She's at her attractiveness peak, so all the attention is going to be on her.
If she's
Men
attractive.
with good genetics, tall, strong, good eyes, hair, jawline, and men with bad genetics, weak, short, low testosterone. There will also be men that are good and bad providers. Bad providers, the guys who are broke, don't value commitment, are promiscuous, or at least trying to be. Meanwhile, good providers are men with high ambition, stable resources, and value relationships and commitment. Also, I just want to point out that although not many men in their early 20s are going to be immediate good providers, the key is they'll have potential. They'll be the ones getting great educations, on a path to well-paying, high-status careers, or alternatively, they may be starting a business or 2 on the side, which are just beginning to get their feet off the ground.
Yep.
Either way, these guys aren't bringing home the big bucks yet, but the potential is key and their prosperity is likely just around the corner. Anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
as time goes by and some women spend their best years partying,
With bad,
going out,
the
dating,
good genetic bad provider.
the highest quality guys dwindles. The
Yep.
good genetics, good provider guys are the first to go as they pair off with other high quality women. In fact, this group dwindles far faster than any of the other 3.
Oh yeah,
The beta
obviously.
provider group effectively stays the same as they get friend zoned or placed into the party girls' orbit. The fuckboy group also stays the same as none
Because
of
they're
them
just
want to do
fuckboys.
it anyway.
Yeah.
And the low value men group never changes because they don't bring anything to the table. So by the time a woman is approaching or reaches her 30s, the only
Oh,
options
God.
she'll have left are these
Look at those teeth.
undesirable groups. And if she foolishly chooses to date the most attractive guys, chances are she'll bump into one of these fuckboys and wind down the bitter spiral saying, guys don't want to commit anymore, they're all jerks, where did all the good men go? But the reality is, maybe she had chances with the highest quality guys who wanted relationships when she was in her youth. but she
Yeah.
declined the offers so she could spend more time partying.
But the thing is, like, what he's forgetting, some guys, their genetics, like, they look shitty younger, but as they age, they actually start looking really, really good. Like, a lot of movie actors, if you look at them younger, they're not as attractive as they are in their mid-30s and 40s and almost 50s, right? They just look like, they start looking better and better. Like, they aged really, really well. And they are still good providers, so you still have those. But the thing is, those guys, why would they go for you when they can easily get that?
Additionally, adding one more point to this, even if
Look,
there are
honestly,
a few
I'm not gonna lie. Look at the hot topic right now. What's his name? Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate? Yeah. Andrew Tate, young versus old. Let's see. Comparison of pictures. Let's see how he looked when he was younger. Right? Look at him. Just looks like, it doesn't look like very attractive. Big fucking ears, big nose, whatever. He's in good shape, don't get me wrong, right? He looks so much better here. Look at this guy. He's like, he looks a lot more handsome here than he did when he was younger, right? I'm not saying he was ugly when he was younger. He still is a good looking guy, but he just looks better here, right? He's in his mid-30s. He looks better than he was in his 20s, right? Some guys just age better. Not in this picture, because teeth. But yeah, but it's like, yeah, a lot of men age better and like look better as they grow older, right? Here he was like half balding. Now here's like he's fully bald, but looks good on him, you know? Shit like that. So it's like, yeah, those high quality men that maybe did look that good at the beginning, but as they age look better, they become high quality men based on this chart, right? They're no longer just good providers, they're also like have good genetics at this point. But they wouldn't date a 30 plus because listen, when they were in their 20s, all these 20-year-olds wanted the fuckboys because they were bad genetics, they were beta providers. So all the girls wanted these two. Now that you're this guy, why would you go for this? Now you can get that.
Men that are left at her age, or some of the beta providers ascend to high value men, chances are they'll want to date the younger, most attractive girls in
Yep,
their
that's what I'm saying.
20s.
Right.
They have the value to do it, so
Hell
why
yeah.
wouldn't they? Anyway, bottom line, as a woman ages, she will likely find slimmer and slimmer pickings available.
Yo, there's this one woman on that, the one podcast with, oh my god, bro. She actually thinks she looks hotter now. She's like 33 or whatever, than she did in her young, early 20s. It's like, well, I'm more confident, whatever. It's like, who cares? Asking me about how you looked. It's like, I feel like I look better now. It's like, yeah, you live in your fucking fantasy world. In my opinion, she doesn't even look good now. Probably didn't even look good then, but like, is she more taken care of? Yeah. Is her skin maybe like more creamed out and all that shit? Yeah, sure, whatever. You still don't look better. And like you have to do all this shit to try and maintain something that is a lost cause.
Dating-wise. And the only men left are going to be genetically inferior beta guys
Yep.
or the same Chad alphas who are never
Hell
going to
yeah.
settle down. Okay, so those are my
Who
first
don't
two
provide,
reasons, and now I've got
because
these
they
out
take
the
care
way.
of the
Now
number
is a good
one.
time to press a like button and leave any thoughts you have.
Oh yeah,
in the comments
100%,
below,
brother.
as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Now moving on to reason 3, why women are getting
Baggage of
asked out
rejection is too
on
high.
fewer dates. And that is the possible backlash of guys asking women out and getting rejected is way too high nowadays. Here's what I mean by this. In 2022, if you get rejected by a girl, it can take a matter of minutes for her to exponentially multiply the social damage you will face. This is especially true if your social
Oh,
circles
okay, I see what you
intertwine
mean.
a fair amount. I've seen screenshots like this before.
And it's kind of out of the blue, but do you want to go out sometime on like a
what's
date?
happened here. A man has innocently asked a woman out over text. 1 minute later, it is screenshotted and uploaded to social media by the girl for the eyes of potentially thousands of people, and then bam, any social stature this man previously had is annihilated. And it's also the woman who gets the offer can amplify her received validation. Anyway, the point is, this magnification effect has only been possible since the explosion of social media about 10 years ago.
Yep.
Prior to this, the potential negative consequences of rejection weren't anywhere close to being on the same level. Previously, if a guy asked a girl out, he got rejected. The worst that could happen is she tells a few of her friends and his reputation is a little damaged. But nowadays,
Yeah.
our social circles are just way interconnected.
But this is the funny thing, because this has happened en masse, all the guys know this, so it's like, if anything, guys are like, yo, props to this guy for trying, kind of thing, rather than just like laughing at the guy for like failing. I would say that's more of the case rather than, you know.
Poisoning of the well effect I've talked about in previous videos is so strong right now. Now moving on to reason 4, and this leads on from the last point and shows why men are now just asking women to come over. As I'm about to explain, it is a far, far safer option. So, the way I see it,
So it's ever to
unless a
offer
woman
casual.
has
Yeah, of
really
course,
low
yeah.
value and will take any source of male attention, it's likely she'll actually feel ashamed of the fact guys regularly ask her for hookups. She'll think, do guys think I'm easy? Do they think I'm unworthy of a relationship and only view me as a fun time? Have some of the guys I've been with in the past spread a bad word about me? You see, when women get asked to come over, unless she's low value, she doesn't actually take pride from the offers. She'll in fact have a reduction in self-esteem after a guy has
Interesting.
her like that. Meanwhile, when a woman gets asked on an official date, she'll feel a massive amount of gratification from
Okay.
it and see herself in very high regard. She'll think, look at these men. They want to court me, take me places, spend money on me. This means I must be high value and for reasons unrelated to my natural beauty.
Yeah, but why would you... Yeah. And this is, I would say, the problem. This is what was happening, like, when I was going out, let's see, this 8 to 12 years ago, which was 2014. Jesus Christ, time flies. 2010 to 2014, right? When I was going out to bars pretty much like 5 times a week or some shit, I would see guys approach anything. They would just like hit on everything. I think this was the peak of like pickup artistry or some shit. Bro, they would approach anything that moved. Like, it was crazy. All the ugly chicks would get so much validation that now all the ugly chicks think that they're worth a damn. But now, because, you know, guys are guys and they don't really differentiate hot and not, they just go like, I have the same strategy for all women because it's easier that way. It's fucking lazy, but it is what it is. They just treat all of them as the same shit value, you know? Like, hey, wanna fuck?
My own conversations confirm this. I've had some really in-depth conversations about this with women recently, and what I've always found is their proudest moments are when they get asked out on a real date by a guy, and whether they're interested in him or not, they always take it as a huge internalization of validation. On the flip side, in these same conversations, women's most envious and bitter moments are stories about themselves hooking up with a guy, only for him to never see her again the next day. They
Right.
describe it as feeling used. This reinforces the point that women are not at all proud of being offered casual intimacy from a guy, as it shows nothing in terms of validating their non-physical value.
The funniest thing is, if the woman is the one who initiated the, you know, the hookup, then and ghosts the guy, they don't care about that. It's only when they think they have a chance, you know. And same for guys, honestly. If a woman initiates it and like the hookup, and you think like, oh man, I just scored, and then she ghosts you, it's like you feel like, bro, I just got played. Though honestly, at the same time, you just got laid, bro. Who cares? Same with the woman, right? Hey, you just got laid. Whatever. Who cares, right? But so because thought she had a chance, clearly not.
Therefore, getting to the main point, from a guy's perspective, it is a far safer option for him to offer casual intimacy first, as he knows there's only a minor chance it will backfire on him,
Yeah.
as the woman is unlikely to spread word around about his offer for an ego boost.
Mm-hmm.
On to reason 5. Entitlement and expectation a man should pay.
I knew it.
Please.
It has to
I've
come for
noticed
money.
Recently, a lot of women out there are wanting to have their cake and eat it too.
Oh yeah.
Here's a simple question. Why would a man want to go on dozens of dates with a woman when it's going to add up a ton and chances are won't even lead anywhere?
Yep.
No. The notion of men make more money so they should pay is no longer relevant.
Nope, that's not the case. Ever since equal pay and whatever, you got like, hey, feminists, you wanted this, you got this. Men and women are equal, then you should pay. Fuck it. Like, you know, 50-50, I don't care. So, oh, chivalry is dead. Yeah, you fucking killed it. Women killed chivalry. Like, it's not that men killed chivalry. Chivalry. Yeah. Chivalry. Yeah. Jesus Christ, language is hard. It's not that men killed it. Women killed it because there's no reason to be chivalrous, right? It's like, why would you? Why would you bother doing that? Right? It's like, hey, women make just as much money as men. Oftentimes, they make it in an easier way than men. So, for example, same paying job, let's say construction, right? How many, like, if you ever pass by a road, right? You drive by a construction site and there's like construction being made and there's women, there's men. What are the women usually doing? What are the men usually doing? Men are out there digging with their fucking like shovels and all that shit. If there's something that the machine can't, women are standing there with stop and slow signs. Okay, I'm not saying they're not doing work, right? Obviously, they're probably doing also some other work. But let's be real, the men are doing the harder stuff, and let's be real, if the women were not getting paid the same, because it's the same job title overall, there would be lawsuits, right? So yeah, women are getting paid very similar to what men are for doing less. So don't give me that, right? You're getting paid more now. You're getting paid equal to men. There's no reason for a man to pay for you, straight up. Again, like if the man wants to, that's fine. But in my opinion, dude, again, if I go on a date with a girl I'm really interested in, yeah, I'll fucking pay, obviously. The way I see it, it's like whoever invites the person for a date is usually the one who pays. If a girl invites me out on a date, that I expect her to pay. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm over this bullshit of like men have to pay. I'm over this. It's like, yeah, fuck that. Now again, if you're like a gazillionaire, right, like a millionaire, whatever, and all you're doing is just hunting like for models and shit, yeah, obviously you're probably gonna pay. You're literally paying them for company, so you might as well. But I'm not paying girls for company. I'm like going out with girls for like a goal, like a relationship, something like that. I'm not there to just bang and leave. So yeah, I'm gonna pay and whatever. I'm gonna put the investment in of financial and chronological investment, right? Like put the time investment, put the money investment in to hopefully like, you know, get the girl that I'm actually like, you know, on the prowl for. But that being said, don't expect me to pay for every date I go on.
Like, I understand why men were expected to pay for everything 100 years ago.
Yep.
When women weren't making money.
Yep.
But now society has changed, so both men and women
Yep.
are working, and both are financially able to put money on the table.
Yep.
And even putting aside for a second the financial part of the equation, and more taking a look at the moral side. In my eyes, it makes zero logical sense why one sex should have to pay for the other. To me, this inequality sounds like the very definition of sexism.
Hey, brother,
Have
preach.
standards within themselves.
Yep.
For some men, a woman may expect
This is
them to
this is what I love about today's feminism, and it's like people who are protecting it are idiots because of the double standard of feminism. Women want equality where it suits them. They don't actually want equality. They want the equality where it suits them, and they don't want the equality where it doesn't. Okay, they want the equality of pay, which is justifiable. They want the equality of opportunity, which is justifiable. I'm totally fine with that. I think men and women should be equal in those regards. Yeah, not a problem with that. But when it comes to dates, for some reason, that's not equal, right? There are other examples too, but like this is one big example. Listen. The men, like if men and women are making the same, let's say like this, you and the female are both non-smokers, non-drinkers. You both have the same exact car, right? Same exact monthly expenses and everything. You make the same exact money, everything, right? It's like same rent, same everything. Everything is the same. You ask this woman out on a date, who pays? The man. So now the man is at a minus compared to the woman. Now the man will never catch up to the woman in terms of finances because every time he takes her on a date, he goes on the gap increases. How is that fair?
to take her out on a bunch of dates, give her constant attention, be available, and make him wait for intimacy, and that's if he ever gets it. Meanwhile, for a different type of guy, who she may barely know from an online dating app, she'll simply show up at his house
Yep.
and have intimacy with him for free,
Yep.
no strings attached.
Yep.
This is the inequality. Why is the price set for one man different for another man?
Yep.
And if a new guy comes along, surely he's going to strive for the second option, the lower price.
Why not?
He knows he's not wasting his time or money,
Of
and
course.
he knows what he's getting is guaranteed. It's human nature that people always follow the path of least resistance. This is why it's a contradiction.
World of Warcraft
If a
preacher
woman
right there.
is ever hooked up from an online dating app, club, or whatever else, she cannot get upset on social media saying guys don't want to date her properly, as she has not priced herself at that level. She has priced herself at 0, and therefore deserves to get 0.
Yep.
It'd be no different from a store owner selling a product for really cheap, which obviously attracts a lot of new customers. Then, all of a sudden, he decides to go back to the higher price, and then he complains no one wants to buy his product anymore. So, back to the point. You can't just pick and choose what your price is depending on the guy who's approached you, or depending on how you feel on the day. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nope.
Anyway, that's
Nope,
the minute
does not.
price, and these are my 5 reasons why men have stopped dating. Make sure you like the video and leave your thoughts below, as it
Pretty
helps
big
the
true,
YouTube
brother.
algorithm.
Pretty big true. Yeah. I can think of, I would say these are like a decent top 5. I can think of other reasons, but yeah, it pretty much covers the majority of them. Yeah, it's like, it's not worth it, today's day and age. And honestly, look, right now, I can easily blame women, but this problem is caused by men starting about 10 years ago. When men started dating everything that moves and gave women no shit for standards, like they did not care about the standard of the woman, they just needed like to get a score or whatever, like to get their machoism up. This is what caused this bullshit. This is one of the main reasons that this bullshit happened. And yeah, so I can't even blame the women, I can blame the men. And you know, when women fell for it, and now women are gonna pay for it. It's just it's just a cycle. It's gonna keep happening, and now because of this, it would go the other way, you know, to the point where it'll be like frowned upon to laugh at men. Like it will get to the point. I'm not even kidding. It would get to a point where if you're a chick who laughs at a man for hitting on you, for asking you out on a date, you would get massive backlash on social media to the point where women will stop doing that, which would give men more courage, and men will start taking more women out on dates, which would give women more more audacity, let's say, right? Or boost their ego so much where it's like they think they can do better than they can. Like a 4 will go for a 9 or a 10. A woman that is like a 4 will go for a man that is a 9 or a 10, or a high quality man, whatever. And then we'll go again that same stupid circle. Yeah, and I believe that's exactly what's gonna happen over and over. Probably every 15 years we're gonna have a cycle. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.